All right, this is Bain scrambled eggs with truffle butter. They're pretty fussy, but also pretty impressive. I'm Jenna, and this is Cooking Companion TV, where we make fanciful food for playful people. And if that's you, welcome, and let's get right to it. The purpose of this recipe is to create little to no curds in the scramble using the soft, indirect heat of steam for a uniformed cooking process. Bain-marie is a pot with simmering water to create steam that heats another cooking vessel set over the steam. We also use this setup for custard, hollandaise sauce, and other emulsions, melting chocolate, like delicate type stuff. For scrambled eggs, the goal is creamy and silky, so you'll want to fully whisk the eggs until no more glops of white remain, and you can also strain them for an extra silky texture. For the bain-marie, we need a pan or a bowl with responsive heat conductivity. I'm using a tin-lined copper pan by T-Pal, which is handmade in India and has been really great for responsive heat conductivity. And that just means it only holds the heat when it's in contact with the heat source. I have about an inch of water in the pot and brought it to a boil and then reduced it to a simmer so the steam is strong without boiling all the water off. And I placed the pan over the pot. Start melting plain butter, and usually for bain-marie eggs, you'd whisk in cream or creme fraiche or even oil into the eggs. But since I'm using truffle butter at the end, I'm not adding more in the beginning. The speed at which the butter melts tells me the pan is heated, so I'll pour in the eggs, and what we're watching for is the skin to not develop. Now the skin is what makes the curds as you stir and fold, and for a creamy texture, we do not want skin to develop. So start stirring immediately, and if skin does develop, that means the heat is too high, and we would pull the pan away from the steam briefly to slow down the cooking process. And that's why having a pan or a bowl with responsive heat conductivity is helpful here. We have much more control over how quickly or slowly the eggs cook. We want to cook the egg fully, but not so quickly that the protein seize up into any sort of shape. And if you do have some skin and very small curds, you can practically stir them out. Now, overall, this process can take anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes, and yes, you will stand there and stir the entire time. I stop when I can run a spatula through the eggs and they don't run immediately back together. I want some movement, so it's not just like a strict gelatinous blob, but I also don't want it like running all over the pan. This is when I'll stir in the truffle butter. Because heat can break down the flavors of truffle, I use my truffle butter at the end. The extra fat from the butter also adds body to the eggs and an extra silky factor. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe to the channel. This recipe demo is part of a longer episode on black truffles and truffle butter, and that link is in the video description too. I also like this with lightly toasted bread to scoop it up. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right dinner party to pull this trick out of my hat. So if one of you make this and serve it at a party, please, oh please, let me live vicariously through you and send me pics and videos, or just treat yourself and do it for you. I have been served this dish, exactly this, at my husband's cousin's house, and it has left me impressed for about 5 years. I just remember diving in it without knowing what it was. I just smelled the truffle and I thought I'll just figure this out as I eat it. And I couldn't. And I was like, by the way, what am I eating? And they're like, it's eggs, it's scrambled eggs. If you don't have a copper pan, an aluminum or even a glass bowl works really well, but you need to protect your hand because the steam will escape more easily this way, and steam is quite dangerous. You know, and even a basic pan can get the job done. You just may struggle a bit more with slowing down the cooking process if you need to. And you know, you can even skip the water bath part and just use extremely low heat on the stovetop. You will end up with very small curds, but honestly, that's not a deal breaker here. It's just incredibly creamy scrambled eggs. Now, the truffle butter can go in any sort of eggs as long as it's at the end of the cooking process. Okay, remember that. That is it for truffle butter scrambled eggs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.